answer whether or not you dicked up, and that's why you decided to get up and go get drinks in the middle of our call. Instead of wanting to admit that you dicked up, broke the conversation by talking about how you wanted to get a drink.
I think I actually read the 500 plus fucking messages.
You're a mate, you're a predator buster, or whatever you pride yourself on.
The platform is what matters to you. How he treated me, not everything I did for you as a fucking friend. No, fuck that. You care about the platform. My friendship. Fuck what Hate's done for you. Fuck what Coyote's done for you. Fuck what I've done for you. Fuck what Lio's done for you. Fuck what we've all done for you, Rouge.
Hello everyone, before I address anything, I'd like to first introduce myself. I'm doing this because a lot of people who don't know anything about me have been flooding my channel due to recent dramas I've been getting in with other communities. I'm Ruza and I'm a predator hunter. I mainly like to hunt child predators, basically fucking pedophiles. I've been hunting predators since I was 17, as of currently I'm 20 years old, and I just started my mental health break this year. Before this break, I've caught a fuck ton of predators, some of which you can find in my GoogleDoc and Twitter account, both linked down below. Though I've handled a lot of cases privately. These private cases, of course, are not available to the public. I also like to get into a bunch of petty drama because I see petty drama as fun and nothing that serious. Some of you watching already know what I'm responding to, but for you people who don't know, I goofed up. But how badly did I goof up? We're going to find out here by covering the shit I've done that pissed people off and bullshit that people have been saying about me that just isn't true. Everything referenced will be linked in the description. If I missed any links, please DM me on Discord. My server and my Discord will be linked down below. Now, all the shit I'll be responding to happened around late January. Now, people who have been following me for a while might be confused, as when drama happens, I tend to immediately boot up a stream and start talking about it. So, people might ask, why didn't I do it this time? It's because I just wasn't there mentally. My mental health was in the gutter, and I had too much going on with my real life to give this drama that much attention. That being said, I did respond using 2 TwitLongers, which will be linked in the description, of course. But we will get back to the TwitLongers later in the video, and specifically the people who have responded to them. I made TwitLongers instead of streams because I didn't exactly trust myself to stay stable through an entire stream, which if you look at my past streams where I responded to Bonza, if they're still up, I was yelling and unhinged. And looking back at those streams now, I laugh at my fucking self because of how unhinged I was. Now, I want to talk about my mental health and where I was mentally. Now, to be 100% clear, I am no way saying my mental state is an excuse for how I acted. I'm talking about this in hopes that you, the viewer watching this, can see everything through my perspective at the time that this all happened, and at least understand why I acted and responded the way I did. Mentally, I was in such a bad place, I would say things and not understand the weight of them until like the next day, or a few days after that. This caused me to say things that were pretty much insane. It caused me to joke around when it wasn't appropriate, and take pretty much nothing seriously. I was in a completely delusional mindset. Again, this isn't an excuse. I'm telling you this in hopes that you can understand why I responded the way I did, and why I handled the situation the way I did. There's no excuses for what I've said or done. I'll be focusing on Rouge's thread, Milky's thread, and a few points from Bonza's video. A few people might ask why I'm not covering the main call that this entire situation is based around. That's because Rouge's thread covers pretty much all of the points made in that call. So to me, it would be pointless to go through a 2-hour call, downloading it, and getting every single important point when all the points are already made on a Twitter thread. However, I will link the call in the description. I put a few points Bonza has made because it's minor points, but ones I believe is necessary to respond to. Milky's thread is, well, different, and we're really just going to be laughing at it for the amount of bullshit that is in there. Now, first on the line is Rouge's thread. Now, some of the points in her thread will be combined with others since, well, the thread is kind of fucking poorly made. Of course, for transparency, I'll put the entire thread on screen and show the exact points I'm responding to. Now, Rouge has taken back one thing she said from this entire thread. We will cover that when it comes. I said hateful take, gathering all the evidence on every predator, meaning Anthony be caught or covered to double check all the information is retarded, even though me and Anthony allegedly made multiple false allegations. Now, double checking information is fine and it's important. I said what Hate was doing was retarded, mostly because of reasoning behind it. Now, TLDR for people who don't know about this drama, a person called FNGR and a person called Stallion Slaughter got into it because FNGR said Stallion Slaughter posted sexualized pictures of his kid, which turned out to not be true at all. I have some involvement in the situation, but it was mainly FNGR Stallion Slaughter. After Anthony made the false claims, people called him out for the claims not being true, and now he's a non-credible source for most predator hunters or drama in general. At least that's what people say. Okay, so that's a short TLDR. All videos regarding that situation will be in the description. After this situation, people called every predator me and Anthony called out into question. The main reason I called it retarded is because with me, I've always had a standard with predator hunting and evidence. Same applies with my followers. I thought at the time it was the same with Anthony. Not only that, but I've been more than open with my fuck up. Oh, speaking of that, let's talk about it. The first incident happened when I was still active on Zoofowl Police. Zoofowl Police was an account that called out all type of predators, not just child predators, but zoophile and necrophiles and all that disgusting shit. Zoofowl Police was DM'd about someone who was allegedly a self-admitted zoophile. We got DM'd with the profile and I went to investigate. They had a link in their bio that led to a bio extension. Basically, it's just something that people put in their bio that says their sexual preference, pronouns, all that good stuff. All that good stuff that they couldn't fit into their basic bio because of the limitations that Twitter has. I clicked on the bio extension, and in their bio extension, it said that they were a zoophile, so I made a post telling people to block and report. So, the problem is the website domain they linked was bought about an hour before Zoofowl Police was DM'd, and the person who bought it specifically changed that person's bio to say that they were a zoophile. I had said in the call that it was allegedly known in their community that they weren't a zoophile. The thing is, their community is their friends who DM'd us, which was about 4 people. So that's the Zoofowl Police situation, and no, I am not justifying anything. I am just simply explaining these situations. The second incident involved Kalia. I can't exactly remember how the situation started, but how it started isn't important. When I was looking into Kalia, I found out multiple things. I found out they were a zoophile and allegedly had child porn. Throughout the situation, I was talking to Kalia's girlfriend, Lavender. Lavender had told me in calls she was sent things by a child she was trying to get nudes from. Of course, I can't ask for proof since that would be distribution of child porn. So I told Lavender if it's true, then send the timestamps of when it was sent and the messages above the image, and I got exactly that. Also, small reminder, Lavender and Kalia literally lived together. I didn't get this semi-proof from someone who hated her or was against her. I see no reason for this to be untrue, however, it was untrue. I ended up talking to the minor, and the minor showed me that no nudes were sent and showed me the exact picture that was sent. So I took down my post saying that they had child porn and discussing their past actions with people. So basically, this case was a false confession. I say that because when I was talking to Lavender about it, Kalia was in the background and heard me and Lavender and even commented on things at times. Lavender was basically acting as a middle girl for me and Kalia. Lavender would just repeat things that Kalia was asking her to repeat. At least that's what I've gathered from that call. So, that's the second situation. Yeah. Small thing I find weird is that the original poster of this thread never mentioned the Kalia situation until I had mentioned it in my TwitLonger. I just find it a bit weird that they claimed I made multiple mistakes but never name dropped the second mistake I've made until I specifically name dropped it. I publicly said I was done with FNGR multiple times but still went to him and claimed Senate, a furry drama server, wouldn't care about it, even though I allegedly went to Lyle Convoy after talking to Anthony about the product. I also claimed I wanted it handled a certain way, wouldn't do myself, puts priority on getting info out while it's hot for views over fact checking, and I pick and choose what cases I want to cover. If I don't want to cover something, I'll throw it to FNGR. Okay, so that's a bit. Yes, after I said I was done with FNGR, I still sent him predators, even though Anthony himself told me not to. Yes, I did say Senate wouldn't care, even though they would have cared, but I never went to Lyle or anyone else after I went to Anthony, and I actually did cover it myself, so saying I wouldn't do it myself is a blatant lie. The Omnipony stream is literally on my channel. Wanted it handled a certain way, and I wanted to get it covered while it's hot rather than fact checking. All the information regarding this person was out there, and he had made a confession, though Sue deleted his Twitter account account. So at that point, I didn't really see a need to investigate further since all evidence was out and the predator confessed to everything. I wanted it handled by a live stream or a video that would come out the same week everything was happening so people would know. I don't see a problem with getting information out when it's hot, when the evidence and claims are not only confirmed to be real, but also a confession is made. I obviously put fact checking over covering it while it's relevant. If I didn't, then trust me, my fuck ups would be in the double digits, possibly the triple digits. I say that because I've been sent a lot of false information about people, but yet none of that false information is in the public because of me. That's because I like to fact check my stuff. You know, something the original poster of this thread and all the supporters should have done. But we'll talk about that later. I do pick and choose which predators I want to cover. I don't see nothing wrong with that since this isn't my job, I'm not getting paid, and at the end of the day, this is just making me more mentally fucked, and I'm not really gaining anything. Though I definitely see the issue with me going to FNGR about these cases. Also, just to be clear, if I don't cover a case, then I am more likely to send it to somebody else who will cover it. I never just ignore a predator. She went back on her word on the Stallion situation, calling it heat in the moment, and called the situation worthless despite my alleged heavy involvement with both calls, in which Stallion got slandered in. Context of what I've actually said has been gutted like a trout. I never said the Stallion situation was heat in the moment. When I said heat in the moment, I was talking about the falling out Anthony had with his now ex-best friend, in which for privacy reasons I won't go in depth with, which I've long changed my mind on that, and I realize that's not heat of the moment. If you listen to the call me and Anthony had, I said I can't remember anything that happened in that call because at the time it first happened, I deemed it worthless. For those who don't know, early mid-2020, Stallion and Anthony had a call in which I acted as a mediator. I barely remember what happened in the call because when this situation was privately handled, I didn't really care for it. Of course, my perspective changed with all the stuff that has happened. So basically, I said I don't remember our call where we handled it privately because when it happened, I didn't care for it. Again, the call between me and Anthony will be linked below where I obviously reference why I don't remember the original call. Also saying I have heavy involvement feels like an exaggeration, but that doesn't really matter. I am not saying the situation in itself is worthless. I am saying I don't remember it because when it originally happened in mid to early 2020, I didn't deem it as worthwhile. Now for clarification, this is the claim Rouge, the original poster, has retracted. Quote unquote, she fully admits she doesn't validate pred stuff. I wonder how that fully admits is going, huh? I don't get how people can support a thread that claims that I fully admitted to stuff, but then retract the claim that I fully admitted to stuff. But again, more on that later. This comment stems from me saying sometimes I'll retweet things and say, God, I hope that doesn't say nigga. Which I don't know how people can get. I retweet predator allegations without trekking it out of that. But okay. It only goes to show how much these people will reach to make me look far worse. When I said that line of retweeting things, I was specifically referring to memes and things I find funny, which lines up with my accounts since I usually never retweet pedo accusations or call out posts. 90% of my timeline is just memes or shit I find funny. But don't believe me? Go to my Twitter page and scroll. I'm allegedly friends with Lucy, knowing she preyed on a 16-year-old. Lucy is 24, and allegedly defending it by saying it was legal in her country. Until the 14-year-old came out and I brought it to Anthony, which she finally cut contact. But wait, there's still mutuals on Discord. She admits to keeping her around to dox people and predators. The friend comment is, again, another reach. Again, a reach so high it's a lie. I told Lucy I wasn't her friend, and I'm just using her for doxes since she's amazing at doxing people. More on that in a minute. I never defended her. I just simply said it was legal, so there wasn't much we could really do. We can make her feel bad, we can make her feel like shit, but when it comes to actual legal actions, actually doing something, there's not much we could do. The funny thing is, before Rouge made this thread, I told her that I wasn't defending her, I just simply didn't think we could do much on the legal side. But she still put it in the thread! She still put it in the thread like it's true, even though I told her it isn't true at all. And I just simply think that that we couldn't do anything fucking legally. Again, another reach to make me look worse. Another reach that's just a fucking blatant lie. Saying we can't do much legally isn't defending her. Not even Lucy remembers me defending her at all. But no, let's trust the original poster who retracted a statement where I admitted to something. I admitted so hard they had to retract the statement. And for every one thing they get right, they get 3 fucking things wrong. Also, yes, I have been more than open with associating with terrible people. I don't get why this is suddenly an issue. Rouge told me that she's always seen it as an issue and always told me it was an issue. But as for other people, I have directly said on stream, I have said in my server, I have said countless fucking times I associate with terrible people, but now suddenly it's an issue. Sometimes I have to associate with terrible people. That's because sometimes I have to dox actual rapists. I have to dox people who have actually committed horrible fucking crimes. And when it comes to doxing these people, sometimes I'll have to lower my standards with who I choose to dox them. I mean, for fuck's sake, about 2 months ago, I had to dox someone who raped their 8-year-old sister and fucked their dog. I didn't use Lucy to dox them because I already had this info. I'm just using this as an example of the people I catch, and sometimes I will need to lower my standards. Because what if I didn't have that person's information, but Lucy could dox them, but I wasn't in contact with Lucy? You see the issue? Sometimes I need to associate with terrible people to catch terrible people, and that's something I don't plan on changing. She uses others to dox people publicly. When confronted to stop, she flat out says no. Saying uses is dumb. Asking someone for someone's dox isn't me just using them. This is a minor point, and one that the original poster possibly wasn't even making, but I've seen the brainlets on Twitter make this point. The only person I use for doxing I don't care about is Lucy. I of course ask other people for doxes. However, Lucy's the only one I use for doxing and catching predators. Use is in I don't care for them. Also, as for predators' information being posted publicly, bitch, like I'm gonna care about that. Why would I care about a predator's information being posted to the public? Boo-hoo, boo-cry. I don't care if their information is posted. Fuck them. I don't care what happens to them. Fully admitted people were her stepping stones and said Anthony did so much for her because he gave her a platform. It's all about the fucking platform. I said Sunstone was my stepping stone during a full-on breakdown. Kinda convenient you left the full-on breakdown part out. But if you want to use that as a point, go ahead. It only goes to show how desperate you are. I always get told, you do it for crowd, you do it for attention. Well, I won't say it has no factor in what I do. I'll say it wasn't a driving factor or a big influence. I have other reasons. For example, I was manipulated and sexually used as a kid multiple times. I have deep hatred for predators because they have fucked me up. And let's bring back the meme point. I'm good at it. I said that in the call, but honestly, I don't see it as that bad of a point because I like doing things I'm good at. I like doing things that make me feel good, even though in the long run it made me feel terrible because it mentally fucked me. But it's not only that, but I've posted about this before. Covering these predators literally puts my Twitter, my YouTube, my Discord, it's put all this in danger. I have a strike on my channel. I've got in trouble with Discord before. My account's near fucking possibly getting deleted, and my Twitter account has been locked more times than I can fucking count. And the funny thing is, if I wanted attention, if it was a driving factor, I would just move to drama, because half of the time on this channel, drama brings me the same amount of views as predators do, sometimes even more. So it makes no sense for me to continue to fuck myself over mentally when I could just cover drama. Again, I'm not saying the clout, the attention has no influence. What I'm simply saying is it's not a driving factor or something I really wanted or concerned myself with. Okay, so let's go through the rest of the things. Yep. And yes. Okay, yeah, these things are shitty, and there's no excuse for them. That's all I really have to say for that. As for saying the R slur retard, I believe context matters and how you use it. Though I'm always up to listen to other perspectives on this. So that's Rouge's thread. Let's move on to something a bit more fun. You know, the people who responded to my TwitLonger. For the people who don't know, this TwitLonger basically just said everything I've said in this video. But if you still want to give it a read, it'll of course be linked down below. In my TwitLonger, I addressed a person who goes by the name Mon, and they said I suicide baited, and well, looks like they didn't like that I addressed that. So they responded pissed at me, so I asked them for proof, and she doesn't need proof. Oh, she doesn't need proof to prove I'm an asshole? I mean, sure. Sure, but you need proof of the suicide bait comment. Weird how you directly avoided that. Oh, this person asked you for proof, but you still didn't give any. In fact, you sidestepped and completely avoided it. Strange, almost like you're lying through your teeth, so you're just trying your best to avoid it. Really adds to your credibility where you can't back up your claim that someone's directly asking you to back up. Well, I didn't expect much from a self-proclaimed psychiatrist or something like that. That's so proud of owning people online, she DMs random people with her W's. Okay, enough of her for now. This guy... This guy responded before reading the TwitLonger, and then his excuse was, it's a wall of text. I'm sorry, compadre, that you've only read Dr. Seuss books, but you can't just go around sharing this or just responding to it in general and not even reading it. You look like a fucking retard. Also, to address the elephant, let's address brutal real fast. Real convenient how you make this post after I say I'm taking my break. No, real convenient you made a bunch of posts after I said I was taking my break. What kind of shit is that? You got mad at me for, well, one of the things you got mad at me for was allegedly retweeting things without checking, Twitter allegations. But then you share Rouge's thread around without even fact checking it. Like, for every one thing Rouge got right in that thread, she got 3 things wrong. Some things in that thread weren't even mentioned in the 2-hour Senate call. You didn't bother to fact check with me though. Right here you admit that you just shared it around. You didn't fact check shit. Kinda like what you did last time we had a falling out, where you kicked me from a server and then let somebody fucking spread false claims about me in that server, and then got mad at me when I streamed about it because you wouldn't let me defend myself by letting me go in the server to defend myself. Fuck you, dickhead. I was going to cover Bonza's video, but he retracted his points and statements, at least most of them. Here's a clip.
Was that I wanted people to see is that this person, we don't agree about, I don't agree with the tactics of, badgering people to say shit they're going to regret and then screenshotting it. I mean, that's, yeah. And the other thing that I kind of was against was you saying that it was fake and that the screenshots do not correspond with my character at all. Yeah. And that's like that's the only thing that I was not okay with. And yeah. And like the rest of it was literally just filler.
Yeah, so you basically like retract everything else you said, right?
Of course, yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Like again, it was literally just filler.
All right. So basically, he retracts all his statements except for the ones using melodic rain and whatever he was talking about at the start there. Now, this is pretty important as it leads to an important point I want to make. The call shouldn't have been uploaded to the public raw. I'm saying this because to understand the topics in the call, you would have to understand a bunch of other furry dramas. The big issue is the amount the call expects you to leave up to interpretation if you don't know about any of these dramas. People have gotten things completely wrong, and I really can't blame them. As watching and not knowing any of these dramas, and hell, not even knowing where to look because they don't tell you where to look, is going to force people to interpret things in a way that they can understand. I believe this call could have had some explanation at the start so that way it doesn't get misconstrued and accidentally manipulated into something else. I believe it's irresponsible as fuck to expect everyone watching this to understand all the dramas that are being talked about. Hell, at times in the call, I was completely confused. So how's the average viewer that doesn't know about this shit supposed to feel? That's just my nit with the call. That's the small issue I've had that I hope that they could fix. Also, I've actually already responded to Bonza 2 times with the same video. I'll link the video down below. And same with Milky. I ended up responding to her on a Twitter thread, so I think we're around the end of this video now. Okay, so talking raw into the mic to you, unedited. Yeah, so I don't know where this channel is gonna go. I do know if people respond, I'll probably stream laughing at it or talking about it. I don't know. Recently, it's been hard for me to take any fucking thing seriously. I kid you not. Like, it is hard for me to take anyone or anything seriously recently. But as for this channel, I don't think I'm making videos anymore. I think I'm just gonna make streams. These videos are super stressful, super long. to make. You know, they're fucking aids to me. I hate making these. I'd rather stream. But I understand the lack of interest in fucking 2-hour streams. But 23... Actually, no, it's probably going to be 24 minutes. Okay. I appreciate y'all that watch. Even if you hate me, I appreciate you listening to me. But that's it for now. Peace.